morning, guys. Happy Monday. I am just about to head out because I'm doing blood work this morning. I am so excited. I haven't gotten blood work done in a while, so I'm really excited to go. And I'm doing a bunch of different tests. Here, I'll go and get my requisition and I'll read out all of the tests that I'm doing. So today I'm doing a lipid panel, a liver panel, AM cortisol, which is why I have to go now and like get to the lab pretty early. C-reactive protein, which is a marker of inflammation. I'm doing ESR, which is a marker of inflammation. I'm doing ferritin for iron. I'm doing hemoglobin H1C. I'm doing a 2-hour insulin glucose challenge test. So once they take all of my fasting levels and all my other blood work, I'm gonna have to drink 75 grams of glucose, and then they're gonna measure my insulin and my glucose at 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and 120 minutes. I'm getting my prolactin tested. I'm getting my thyroid stimulating hormone tested. I'm not doing antibodies this time, and I'm gonna talk about that. Vitamin B12 tested, and I'm getting my vitamin D tested. So yeah, just a really good, full, comprehensive panel for me and kind of my main concerns. I'm really excited to get the results back too. I never go off of the results that the lab gives you, like the ranges. There's a lot smaller ranges that I look at for really optimum health. And really this year, I talked about this in my last few videos, but like my health is my absolute priority. And I'm really excited to just continue working on doing lab work, just doing other functional testing, and really optimizing health. Anyway, with that being said, I slept in a little bit because with the AM cortisol, you really want to do that within an hour of waking up. So I tried to time it for waking up in an hour of when the lab opens, and the lab opens in about 15 minutes. I'm about a 10-minute walk. So I'm going to head out, go to the lab, and then we'll probably chat about it later. I will be there for 2 hours because of the 2-hour insulin glucose challenge test. So I'm gonna bring my book so that I can read. I've heard from patients that this is not the funnest test to do. This is my first time doing it personally. Apparently you don't feel very good the rest of the day because you go fasted and then you drink 75 grams of glucose first thing in the morning, but the data is really good and I'm really curious to see my results. Oh, also that's why I didn't have fasting insulin and fasting glucose on my requisition, because that's basically part of the 2-hour insulin glucose challenge test. Like they take your base levels. So just so you know, otherwise I would have tested fasting insulin and fasting glucose. But with that being said, I'm rambling, so let's head out to the lab.
To the place, a spot you from a ways. My heart, it started racing. The crowd across the way, flowers on your face, and then from the 80s, someone keeps blocking my way.
All right, I'm all back from the lab and I'm just having breakfast now. I showed you guys this, but I made my classic breakfast. I basically have this every day, but it's 3 soft-boiled eggs. And then this week I'm doing kale microgreens, and then I have half of an avocado as well. I'm just doing something very high protein, high fat, high fiber, just to help stabilize my blood sugar, because I did start my day with 75 grams of sugar, which to be honest, I'm not feeling my best. And I knew that I would probably feel pretty tired after that test. I always warn patients that they probably won't feel that good the rest of the day because you basically start your day with a bunch of sugar, but the data from the test is really good. I'm gonna eat this and then I'll probably take it easy the rest of the day. I think I'm also gonna do a little bit of work today, and then I have to do some meal prep as well, and I think I have to go to the grocery store.
If you're heading for the coast.
Okay, I just went to Kensington to pick up a few things for groceries. I generally don't really do a big grocery shop because I live by myself, and I just find that if I buy a lot of food at the end of the week, some of it goes bad and stuff like that. So I tend to just kind of pick stuff up throughout the week as I need it, but I'll show you guys everything I picked up. The first thing I got was just some chicken thighs. I got both strawberries and blueberries. They're both organic and they were both on sale. Amazing. And then I also picked up a giant thing serving of spring mix. You guys know I love just having a ton of greens in my diet. I got some radishes. I have been on a huge radish kick. Such a good spring vegetable. They're also amazing for your liver because they're bitter foods. Speaking of liver, someone asked on my last video ways to boost glutathione naturally, like if you can't take glutathione supplements or you can't take NAC or something like that. And a really great way is through sulfur rich foods, because those can really help to support the liver, help with supporting glutathione production. So I think that I'm also going to soak some of these. I think they're arugula. No, they're broccoli sprouts. So I'm gonna sprout some of these or soak them so I can sprout them. Broccoli sprouts are super high in sulfur. I think they're 100 times higher in sulfur than broccoli, gram per gram. So really amazing for the liver. Any sulfur containing food is going to be great for liver and glutathione production. And then of course making sure that you're doing all the things to lower glutathione being used up. That is my little glutathione rant for today. When I got home from the lab this morning, I started soaking some beans. These have been soaking for about 4 hours. I'll probably soak them for another 4 hours and cook them up tonight. I've been trying to get more beans into my diet just because they're so good for you. They're so good for cardiovascular health. They're so good for the gut microbiome, all of those things. I just don't eat enough of them. So trying to get those in the diet as well. As of right now, I'm debating what I want as a snack. I have a bunch of leftover pasta sauce. This is just like ground beef pasta sauce and some cassava flour pasta in the fridge. So I might just have a little bit of that. To be honest, guys, I'm not feeling that good after that 2-hour insulin glucose challenge test. I'm just going to take it easy the rest of the day, but I think that I still am going to go to the gym because I think I'll feel better if I exercise. I'll probably cook up my chicken tonight when I make dinner. To be honest, I'll probably have chicken and a giant salad, my favorite summer meal. So yeah, I'm going to warm up some pasta, chill for a little bit, and then go to the gym.
Cytokine theory of anxiety and depression. Neurological diseases have all been tied back to mitochondrial function. You can have constipation. SIBO is almost always a symptom of a more global issue, to be considering mitochondria as a foundation of that.
I'm just about to go to the gym. I had my kind of like late lunch snack, and then I sat down. I started watching a lecture on mitochondrial health, which is so interesting. I really think that mitochondrial health is going to be a huge part of health in the next 10-20 years. We know that healthy mitochondria make healthy cells, make healthy tissue systems, and healthy organ system make healthy people. And just the stress that the modern world puts on our mitochondria, it's crazy. And the way that mitochondrial dysfunction can manifest in the body is really interesting as well. So always something very interesting to learn about. And there's also so many ways that we can help to support our mitochondria. Really nutrient dense diet, lots of B vitamins, carnitine, CoQ10, iron, magnesium, manganese, zinc. All of those help to support our mitochondria. So that was just a little side rant, but I'm gonna go to the gym, probably do a lower body workout because that's normally what I do on Mondays, and then I'm gonna sit in the sauna for a little bit. That is the plan for tonight.
Terminal with a sign close and personal. To see your face light up, ooh. She's a lightning mood. Structure, I'm not careful, oh boy, one down. Chasing out the sun, runs from the city to Chattanooga. Don't you steal the thunder. Don't you steal the thunder. Wake up at the right time, looking at my light. I don't say you just fly right on and on. We gotta keep it up. We gotta keep it up. Yeah. Baby, take your time. You got your whole life. Put faith in the sky. On and on. We gotta keep it up. We gotta keep it up.
All right, guys, the angle here is not the best, but I had a malfunction with my tripod. So guys are currently sitting on a mason jar, but you guys have seen me make this salad probably a million times at this point, but it's just spring mix. I added in radishes, great for stimulating digestion, great for the liver. I also added in some sauerkraut for some probiotics. I added in some purple sweet potato, half an avocado, a bunch of olive oil, parsley, salt. Yeah, it's just my go-to salad. Super high fiber, lots of prebiotics, lots of probiotics. And then we also know that polyphenols are really important for modulating the gut microbiome as well. And then I just have my chicken that I cooked in my stainless steel. I've been loving the stainless steel pan. It is just so much lighter and easier to work with than my old 100% ceramic or my cast iron. Really, for non-toxic cookware, I like to either use cast iron, stainless steel, or 100% ceramic, but loving the stainless steel. I just took my supplements. I have a little bit of my bitter tincture mixed in water, so I'm gonna have that before just to help with digestion. All I want to do is sit on my couch and read my book after this.
I'm turning gold. Got me spinning around like vertigo. If you're heading for the coast, hearing voices up ahead you, who am I to let you go? You're a wrecking ball. Can you kiss me slowly? We can turn the headlights off. All our friends and all their voices falling silent in the car.
Okay, so it is quite a bit later. I have just been editing and doing some charting all afternoon. It's like 6:30 right now. So I'm gonna go out for a walk before dinner, and then I think for dinner I'm just going to make the leftover pasta that I still have in the fridge. I still have like a serving's worth of pasta. I have some extra mushrooms, so I might saute up some mushrooms. I know there's already mushrooms in the sauce, but just so I have extra mushrooms, and then probably just relax the rest of the evening. I have a little bit of patient prep that I have to do for tomorrow, but really I just wanna sit and relax and read my book for a little bit. So that is the situation. I also got my lab results back, but we're gonna sit down and chat about those tomorrow. I probably won't talk to the camera anymore today. I'll probably just show you guys what I have for my dinner and then just relax the rest of the evening.
We can turn the headlights off. All our friends and all their voices falling silent in the car. And do you remember the fog was lifting?
I just finished up my morning shift. I was working from home today, so I was just seeing patients virtually. I also get asked all the time if patients can book with me one-on-one. So you guys can book with me if you live in Ontario. It's just our regulation board. I'm only allowed to see patients in Ontario. So if you're in Ontario and you want to do virtual consultations, I'll put my booking link in the description box below. If you're in Toronto and you want to come in, you can also come into the clinic. With that being said, I'm gonna go to the gym right now, just do a really quick workout. Then I'm gonna come home, have lunch, shower, and then I think that we'll chat a little bit about my blood work because I definitely want to talk about it. Really excited to chat about it, what's good, what I want to work on. I think I might just end the vlog after we chat about the blood work because I just feel like the rest of my week is gonna be pretty boring. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym, do a quick upper body workout, then we'll come home, shower, eat, and we'll chat about the blood work. All right, hello guys. It is a few days later. I ended up filming a full recap of my blood work later that day, but I had a new microphone on my camera and the audio just came out really, really weird. So we are just going to refilm it right now, but I have all my blood work in front of me. I think we're just going to go through it. I was lucky enough to sit down with another ND at my clinic and we went through all of my blood work, and it was really nice to have someone to go through it with. Obviously, I can read and interpret the blood work, but it was really, really nice to have someone go through it and have kind of that objective look at it, because I think that you can be a little bit biased when you're looking at your own blood work. And we also chatted about some little diet tweaks that I can make and changes to my supplement routine to really optimize on my blood work. I always say everyone does well on a whole food based diet with lots of protein, lots of fiber, lots of polyphenols and variety, but I do think that there is an element of bio-individuality as well. And blood work can really give you an insight into what little tweaks and changes you have to make to optimize your health. And I said it at the start of the video, but this year I'm really, really working on optimizing my health. I always say this, but when you put the time, energy, and resources into improving your health in general, it allows you to show up so much better in the rest of your life. It allows you to show up for your friends, family, loved ones, work, in all aspects of your life. With that being said, let's just jump right into the blood work. I'll talk about the things that I was really, really happy with, and then some of the things that I still want to work on and improve. Starting out, let's talk about blood sugar. I was ecstatic with the results for my blood sugar. So like I said, there's kind of three main tests. Kind of at the bottom of my tier is HbA1c. It's an okay test. It's what we use to screen for diabetes and pre-diabetes. It's basically a snapshot average of the last 2 to 3 months of your blood sugar levels. The reason why it's not the best is because it is that it's an average, so it's not going to take into account if you're having a lot of peaks and dips. It also doesn't take into account insulin at all, and we know insulin resistance can be present years before HbA1c starts to rise, and that is because your body is very smart. I always say that, and if your cells are becoming insulin resistant, your body is just going to make more insulin to compensate for it. And that's why testing for insulin itself is really, really important. And that's why kind of my next step up is fasting insulin and fasting glucose. We can see the levels at fasting and look at the glucose to insulin ratio and look and see if there's high insulin levels. But then my favorite test to run is the 2-hour insulin glucose challenge test, because we get to see the fasting insulin and fasting glucose, but then we also see how the body reacts to that dose of glucose, and we get to see how much insulin is produced and how high the glucose levels rise and how quickly they are able to come back down to baseline. So I use this test all the time in my practice, even if patients' main concern isn't diabetes, pre-diabetes, or weight loss resistance. You know, if their concern is high cholesterol, anxiety, depression, mood issues, menstrual pain, PCOS. Insulin resistance is a huge part of PCOS. So basically all my PCOS patients will do a 2-hour insulin glucose challenge test. Anxiety, depression, insomnia, fatigue, acne, all of those things can be exacerbated by insulin resistance. So definitely a test that I use a lot, and I was ecstatic with my results. My fasting insulin and fasting glucose were amazing, like very, very ideal levels. And then even after the dose of glucose, my sugar in my blood never rose that high and my insulin never rose that high. So it shows that my body doesn't need a ton of insulin to control that glucose. So I was really, really happy. And by the 2-hour mark, I was basically back to baseline, which is great. And with that being said, my HbA1c also came back in a great spot as well. I was very, very happy with that. All my nutrient markers came back great. My vitamin D, B12, ferritin, all in optimal ranges. So I was very, very happy. Bilirubin came back in a really good spot. My triglycerides were amazing. I was really, really happy with those. And I was not really surprised because blood sugar came back so well. We know that triglycerides and blood sugar control are closely related. My HDL, which used to be called the good cholesterol, but we are now knowing that like anything with blood work, it's a Goldilocks effect. So we don't want it to be too low, but we also don't want it to be too high. That came back in a really, really good spot. My HDL to cholesterol ratio was really, really great. With cholesterol panels, it's so important to interpret the whole panel together. You can't just look at one thing. You have to look at all the HDL, the LDL, the ratios, the triglycerides, and then of course inflammation, because we know that inflammation plays such a large role in cardiovascular disease as well. Speaking of inflammation, both my CRP and ESR markers of inflammation came back basically non-detectable. I was really, really happy with that. Those were all the things that I was really, really happy with. Oh, also my prolactin came back great. Some of the things that I would definitely like to work on. So my liver enzymes were a little bit higher than I would personally like to see them. Like I said, I don't really go off of the Life Labs ranges, but we chatted about this and we talked about how I was coming off of my Candida cleanse when I did the blood work. And in hindsight, I probably could have waited a few weeks to do it, but we talked about how that may have just put a little bit more stress on my liver and my body just being on all of those antimicrobial herbs. So definitely something that I'll probably be retesting in about 2 to 3 months. And then same thing, my TSH, which is my thyroid stimulating hormone, came back a little bit higher than I would like to see it. Again, we chatted about how I was coming off of the cleanse, I was eating lower carbohydrate. I'm thinking that my body may have just been a little bit stressed. So yeah, that was really everything. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that just based off of where my TSH was, my energy wasn't a little bit lower. But yeah, other than that, everything else came back good. Oh, also my AM cortisol came back good. Like I said, it can be too high. It can also be too low. Like we can have high AM cortisol, but you can also have low AM cortisol where you're really groggy in the morning and you're having a hard time getting out of bed. Mine came back in a really, really good spot. So overall, very, very happy with the blood work. I just love getting blood work done. I think that it's so fun. I think that it's so empowering to know exactly what's going on in your body. And like I said, it really allows you to tailor your diet and your lifestyle and your supplements to really optimize your health. Basically, what we talked about with making changes to my diet, we talked about some changes to my supplements that I'm going to be making in the next few weeks. And then when it came to my diet, we talked about just making sure that I'm getting enough fuel throughout the day. I'm someone where if I get really busy, I tend to underfuel myself. So making sure that I'm getting enough fuel throughout the day, enough carbohydrates, enough healthy fats, all of those things. And then also just making sure that I'm just being really, really mindful of stress. I mean, stress is such a huge part of so many of our lives, but really, really making sure that I'm being aware of stress, making sure that I'm doing my mindset work, doing my stress reduction, deep breathing, like all of those things that really help keep my body in a calm and parasympathetic state for the most part. We can't always be in the parasympathetic state, but really, really just allowing myself to be in that state as much as possible. That was the blood work. I'm probably also going to be doing some functional testing within the next few weeks. I think I'm going to end up doing both a GI map and an organic acids test. So I will keep you guys updated with those. Let me know also what your guys' health goals are. I mean, mine right now are to to improve my blood work. But let me know what your health goals are. If you guys join my email list and you get the welcome email, then it asks you at the bottom what your current health goals are. And I love when you guys send me back emails and reply to that and tell me a little bit about your health journey and what your current health goals are. Also, if you guys noticed, this video went up on a Saturday, and just to let you guys know, I'm going to be switching my upload day from Sunday to Saturday. I really like responding to your guys' comments right after I post the video, but I've been really trying to do social media free Sundays, and obviously being on YouTube during those days is difficult. So I think I'm going to switch it to Saturday. And if you guys want to join me for social media free Sunday, just comment down below social media free Sunday, because I would love to have you. I think we can all benefit from a day with no social media. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.